Good evening, everyone, and thank you for giving me some of your time so I can speak about an issue that is currently on the rise in our school systems today. From television sets in every room and cell phones that function more like computers than just phones, technology defines our generation. We use this technology to communicate through texts and emails while documenting our lives on Facebook. We also use this technology to divert our thoughts through shopping and online browsing while playing hundreds of addicting games. As a result, many high schools are merging to laptops rather than textbooks and notebooks in their classroom settings in an attempt to keep up with this society. However, this may not be the best choice for the students or the schools. Laptops are distracting and fragile, and they can also hinder learning for high school and middle school students, and therefore should not replace textbooks, nor should they be a part of the daily classroom setting. Let me give you a little background on the laptop programs. The idea of laptops replacing textbooks has started to become a reality in the last 10 years. The laptop programs are officially called the 1-to-1 program, 1-to-1 being the ratio of students and laptops. Almost every school district in Maine has adopted the program, 23 districts in Texas, 100 districts in Michigan, and many more. So there's plenty of research being done on whether or not the program is really working. Well, there are several valid reasons for this technological shift in classrooms. One being the school boards trying to create a 21st century classroom. They are also trying to bridge the gap between those students that do and don't have computer access at home. Teachers and parents like the idea that learning is portable, but then again, so are books. Schools are dazzled by the idea that they will not have to spend money on updating textbooks. All of these reasons seem reasonable, but they have another side to them. I can attest to the fact that many high school students are already distracted by having a screen in front of them without having a screen in front of them as an excuse. I was there myself less than a year ago. This is not necessarily a problem that needs fixing. It's just how most teenagers are. Nonetheless, handing these teenagers a piece of technology that they probably know more about than the teachers do is only going to make the problem bigger. In fact, teachers in districts who have adopted the program have reported that they are having far more discipline problems than they did before their students had laptops. The schools that have begun to make this conversion have spent a lot of money on not just the laptops, but also on the software needed to block certain web surfing like social networking and gaming. However, this software is not completely kid-proof, especially when dealing with the kids of today's society. In New York, a particular school was having problems with the website security and spent extra money on tightening it. Soon after, a 10th grader not only got around it, but posted directions on the web so fellow students could too. I'm not stating that it is the school's responsibility to force their students to pay attention because students should be accountable for their own actions. But can we blame the students completely when they are not paying attention in class if the school is handing them their excuse not to? Aside from expensive software that goes along with the expensive laptops, the schools better be ready to pay for some really expensive warranty. When kids get home from school and throw their backpacks down on the ground on their way to the kitchen, the books in that backpack handle the wear and tear just fine. I remember several times while in high school, I had books that were taped up on the spine from use over and over. However, the books were still usable. What happens when laptops go through this same wear and tear? This is where the expensive warranty will come into play. Districts in Florida have reported spending $100,000 a year in repairs that warranty isn't covering. A district in Maine even gave up on the program after realizing what the repairs were costing. Aside from the cost, 35% of students who were part of a study in Maine said that they were without laptops for at least a week due to repairs. This puts them in a difficult place for a whole week. Some even reported having their laptop being in repairs for as long as 2 weeks. Had the student been using a textbook and paper, this would not have been an issue. You see, textbooks have to pass through a number of school boards to be approved, and if they are good, they should last about 10 years. But websites do not. There are just too many of them, and our school board cannot monitor them. Parents of the students who have been given these laptops have complained that all the kids are learning is how to Google words and use fancy fonts. This is useful to an extent, but there are certain skills that are only acquired through digging through books, and that these kids are losing. Students are losing practice with basic writing skills. The SAT and ACT do not have a typing section, nor do they provide spell check, dictionaries, or thesauruses. So how can we expect them to do well on such tests when all they are practicing is how to type quickly and right-click when they misspell a word? So all of the filtering software and the maintenance have to be costing more than replacing textbooks every few years, not to mention the initial cost of buying each student a laptop. We are spending tax dollars to provide students with a glowing screen of distractions rather than credible textbooks. We are then spending money to repair these laptops, which cost a lot more than a piece of tape to repair a book. All of this money to keep up with technology, only for the laptops to be outdated within a year. In fact, some Klein schools have already adopted the one-to-one program, while others are still trying to decide if they want to distribute laptops or tablets to the students. In a matter of a couple of years, the laptops that some Klein schools spent money on are already out of date according to other Klein schools. As you can see, the negative aspects of this program are outweighing the positive. Schools are beginning to change the way the upcoming generation is going to be educated, but have they really thought this through? Have you? I urge you to ask questions. Take advantage of any opportunities you have to voice your opinions to the schools. Technology is great. We have a wealth of information at our fingertips, and we're more efficient than ever. But there is a time and place for these laptops, and middle school and high school classrooms are not it. It makes no sense to spend money changing what has been working for so many years. Laptops are distracting, fragile, and faulty, while paper and textbooks will always be dependable. Thank you for listening, and I hope I have helped you to see that this is an issue that should be addressed.